You know, friends that care about me have given me some very needed constructive advice recently. I've had some heart-to-heart private conversations, and for example, one of my bros and Jeremy from G&G, he had to hear from me a lot about that whole Zack Snyder situation when we spoke privately, and he took it. And like the good friend that he reciprocates, man. And knowing that there's some things that I should improve on, he recently let me hear it, and it was perspective that I needed, and it was also echoed by other people. It's been difficult sort of adjusting to this new reality. I went from being the streamer that was very interactive with even my haters to now the owner of a multi-million-dollar business. And though I've gotten better, I've not completely shook off those old habits. That's part of learning to move differently. And I have to learn to accept that this is a new chapter. That's why I've been saying that I'm moving differently in 2024. The growth of the Rippaverse changed everything, including my own life. The one thing I admittedly do not like are people going after my employees and friends, and our explosion made some people feel some kind of way, and unfortunately, this means that people will be caught in the crossfire. I have no problem making myself vulnerable with this, but as an example, the Soska sisters have been nothing but awesome to myself, this company, and its fans. I take great exception to the recent attacks against them, and they're being penalized for decade-old out of context posts. One in particular is them, twins spotting other twins from a set van and tweeting about it. Of course, with horror, there's gonna be some things that people find repugnant, and I don't need to defend anything, justify anything that I had nothing to do with. It can be inappropriate, raunchy, and degenerate, but I don't have to disavow something that I had nothing to do with. But some are taking these films that they've acted in very early on in their careers, and they're treating it as if they were real. Everybody that has worked with them, from Dean Cain to Glenn Jacobs, they always have nothing but good things to say about them, and they've grown so much as individuals. I've had those conversations with Jen about reconnecting with God, and those conversations have been amazing. And truly, that's who she answers to, not me or you. You all know how young and dumb I was, so I take exception, again, to people operating as if repentance, forgiveness, and growth aren't a thing. Social media mobs trying to claim that there are these satanic feminist SJWs trying to infiltrate is insane. I'll give you another example. They are now against this trans stuff that's being pushed on to these minors, and you can see that maturation yourselves in those conversations that we've had about stuff on our streams. After all, I did learn about them writing Marvel's Black Widow, a story in which Nat takes it to traffickers and pedophiles, which is far more recent a thing to judge them by. It sucks that people are attacking them due to these social political views that they also no longer even have. They are not some raging SJWs, and this has nothing to do with them, as they are a means to an end. They are being used to simply attack me and having to relive things that they've long moved on from. But I will never fire anybody over social media mobs and will stand by my employees. As I've said before, I wanted to solve economic problems by building this business as well. I don't want people to feel like their livelihoods are controlled by mobs instead of their performance. Even if what I said about these individual politics, if it weren't the case, it wouldn't matter because it has nothing to do with the Rippaverse. We don't do that political hive mind thing over here. I will work with anybody that respects our vision and our customers as long as they are good for the job. I'm protective of what we are building. Even I separate my personal political views from the content of the Rippaverse. Find the irony in an ANCAP creating a superhero cop team like Alpha Core. Everybody knows to leave it all at the door, and should personal views get in the way of business, they won't be here. We can't really be infiltrated. I'm the 100% sole owner. We don't have a board, and we bring people in based on merit. However, I'll never be a fan of cancel pigs going after people that work for us or with us. They don't deserve that. This has even happened with content creators being roped into foolishness that they want no parts of. I started this company to fix problems and have a return to normalcy. I can only control what I can control. I have a lot more clarity, though, in what I need to do. I've reached a status that transcends anything I've done before. I'm going to be loved, and I'm certainly going to be hated. And people are going to make up some wild things about myself and my company, and there's nothing I can do to really change that. Lies claiming that I've attacked other creators that I never did. Lies about me attacking economic models that I never did. Lies about our company's cash flow and funding. There's nothing I can do to really change the perception that some people have of me. They'll conjure up whoever they need me to be for their own narratives. So here's what I'm going to do. I need to fully embrace being the owner of a multi-million-dollar business. And I need to show that with my online interaction. Some people are not going to like it, or it's going to take some time getting used to, but this is a much needed evolution. The tone for the Rippaverse is set by me. I need to do a much better job of facilitating enthusiastic, engaging conversations and highlighting those that want this fun sandbox. My primary interactions need to be with fans. Positivity needs to be the key. Again, not everybody will understand this, but it's what's best. The people that deserve acknowledgement are the fans and the supporters. So I'd like to personally apologize, first of all, to my employees, current and future, contractors as well. It sucks that if it's your turn, you'll eventually have to deal with unwarranted hate just because you work with us. And fans that publicly support us will sometimes be harassed, and that's why fandom is so important, because you have each other's backs. I also want to apologize to all of you for being far too loose, because I can do a much better job in focusing on these fans. I take full responsibility for that. The monetize your haters era, that's been done for like 10 months, and now we're moving into a different era. Some of you have been big fans of ISOM and AlphaCore, and if you don't like either of those, that's fine too. You're free to that opinion, and criticizing doesn't make you a hater. Perhaps there will eventually be something more up to your speed as the Rippaverse grows. If not, that's fine too. But fans, this is about you. I thank each and every one of you for this welcoming fandom that you've helped build. I appreciate you going to bat for myself, this company, and everybody in between. You should be rewarded for your efforts. The best way that I can do that is to improve in not only my creativity, but with these engagements and my contributions to this fandom. It'll be a little weird for everybody, like I keep saying, but it's what's best. I'm going to take my own advice and get even more focused up. There's a lot of work to do, and it's time that I act like an actual publisher that's building a media company, not a YouTuber. 2024 is the year of greatness, evolution, reinvention, and having an absolute blast.